is largely still full of tea, and we're going to make that into this whole pot. And so when it's done, you guys feel free to come up here and get into that. Okay, so this is about halfway full of tea right now. And so this is kind of how I make large batches of this stuff, and this is how we've been able to feed 100 people in Elixir. So we got the tea here that's left over, and I just use that tea as the base of this blended drink. And now I'm going to strain that right back in there. So if anyone wants to kind of stand up and see if they can see in there, what's happening now is that's going from being a tea into this really nice, thick, milky drink here. So now you can see, like, that's how you can live off of a tea. It's not really easy to live off of a really liquidy, watery
that's
tea.
A meal, right?
This starting to become a meal with the fibers taken out.
How long will that keep?
Because it's got herbs like Padiarco and cat's claw, this is actually a really important point. If you're using plants that are antiviral, antibacterial, antimicrobial, antifungal, those herbs will keep the tea from breaking down, right? As opposed to other teas that don't have those qualities will ferment really fast. So you could actually make this tea, before we add the fats into it, the tea itself could sit out on your counter for a week. It won't go bad. If you start to put things like goji berries, which are really rich in antioxidants, right? Antioxidants stop oxidation. So they'll keep this tea for a long time.
What do you do with that?
So making a big batch and having it for the week
is completely possible, and over time you'd probably develop a taste for fresher stuff.
Right.
But you can definitely do it that way. Or you can make a tea that you just keep drawing on. You want a smoothie, so you use that tea. Then later on you want a soup, you use that tea as the base of the soup. Later on you just want tea, so you drink it like that. So large batches of tea are really helpful. So this is all the fiber stuff left over. I'm just going to toss that.
It makes your house smell good.
What I'm going to do is, so now we've gone spring water, becomes a tea, becomes a milk. Now we're going to bring it to the final part of it where it becomes an elixir. And the reason I'm doing that, honestly, this is a funny story, is I have a friend who I train with in martial arts and other kind of things like that. We do a lot of yoga together. And we were living together this summer, and every morning we were getting up and we were making smoothies. And so I'd get up and we'd go out and do whatever, horse stance for half an hour, battle each other, and then he'd be like, let's go get our smoothie! And then one day I was like, I'll make the smoothie today. And he was like, he looks at me and goes, Daniel, this smoothie thing has to stop. we can't call it that anymore. So that's why we call it, that's why I started calling them elixirs. So this is that coconut cream that that Spruce was working with earlier. You could use coconut oil, you could use other oils, and if you want to take, this would be the time to add in your capsules of any herbs you're working with. This would be the time to add in the green foods that you're working with. This would be the time to add in any other medicines that you're working with would go in now, because we've strained everything out. So we wouldn't want to add in, say you got a $65 bottle of spirulina, you don't want to add that in and then strain off all the spirulina. Or if you're taking a medicinal herb, you don't want to strain that off. So in the final blend, this would be the time to add in the higher quality fats that you work with. Say you're taking a flax oil, or say you're taking a hemp oil, which is sensitive to heat. Add it in last, and you don't want to blend those for a long time, because that'll create friction and heat, and that'll break those down. So I put all that stuff in at the very end. This is where I'm going to speak. So probably everybody by now has heard that there's a bit of a crisis with the honeybee going on planet Earth. And I think that's bringing a real consciousness of the bees. I don't know if you guys know, but that we were overtaken by bees in the kitchen. Did anyone hear that?
Oh, yeah.
Thousands of bees came to be with us for this whole retreat. I really, I like agave because it's really sweet, and I can spike sugar into a drink that I can't kind of do that with honey. But as far as medicinal quality, to me agave is like sort of an empty calorie. There's not a lot there for me. Whereas the honey, a raw honey, is it has medicinal qualities. And it's that consciousness of the bee, which I think that we all need to kind of get supporting.
It supports the bees when we support the beekeepers.
Absolutely. And as far as like any kind of concept like veganism, what I think is interesting about veganism is that all the food vegans eat have been pollinated by bees, which are kept in hives, which are brought to the farm by the bee farmers.
enslaved.
Same story.
Say that again.
That it's not, this isn't like thousands of years ago where you just like plant things or you go pick things. Now these are big farms, right? Organic farms are big farms, and they hire beekeepers to come bring their bees there, and the bees go out and pollinate the thing. So even if you're like, I'm a vegan, I don't eat any bee products, you're still by living on Earth where 80% of green plants are pollinated by bees. I mean, no matter what, you're participating in that.